Hello everyone, I'm Brad Secraw. I'm the agriculture educator for Cleveland County Cooperative Extension. And today we are going to be talking about cheese. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. We're going to check our curds, here where we are. It's been sitting here off heat. And what we do is we check the edge and see if it is, oh yeah, it's starting to. I like to see a little bit firmer curd. I like to see some good separation between the side of the pot and there, and the curd itself, so I can get that depression. What you want to see is some discolored liquid. It's going to look a little more blue, and that's the whey separating. So I'm going to check at the side here and see how it feels. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, that's pretty bumpy feeling. Bouncy is like, oh yeah, got some much better separation than I had 5 minutes ago. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. So this is the slicing knife I like to use. It's actually a carving knife. And what we're going to do is do a grid pattern. So I'm going to go straight up and down this way on both sides. And then I'm going to tilt the knife this way and do it at another angle. So let's go ahead and start it. Go all the way to the bottom. That'll make sure you cut all the curd. And you might not be able to see the lines that I'm creating, but there are definitely lines that I'm following. Okay, I'm gonna turn this 90 degrees, and we're gonna go up at this from an angle. And you can start to see all the little cubes of milk, cheese, turning around. And it's not super firm. It looks more like you've got pudding that is just firm enough. Now we've cut everything. We're going to go ahead and heat this to 105. Now it does say to move the curds around. And when I say move the curds around, I don't mean stir like you would a pot of pasta. What we're doing is just moving them around, because if we start vigorously stirring these, we're going to break them up, and it's going to be hard to separate them from the whey. And so basically herding them around and periodically checking the temperature. So we are at 90 degrees, 91. I'm going to get to 105. And one of the interesting things about this is that now that we've become kind of a semi-solid, the casein has broken up and become the solid part of this, it's a little harder to measure the temperature. There'll be little pockets of variation. So some places are going to be warmer, some places are going to be cooler. So overall, we're looking for a temperature of about 105 degrees. Quite fascinating, isn't it? And I've always said that your kitchen is the closest you're going to ever have to a home chemistry set. So much chemistry that goes on in a kitchen. You don't even realize it. All right, now that the curd has been sitting, we can go ahead and separate it. I'm gonna pour off all that whey. You can do this into the sink, but for demonstration purposes and so that I don't lose any of my curd, I'm gonna do it into a colander, into a bowl. You see that very kind of yellowish, green, blue liquid. That is the whey being poured off. All right, next we're gonna need to heat this curd up, so we need to use the microwave. And as we go here, it's gonna weep. So one moment you'll think that you've got all the whey out of it, and then 5 seconds later, there'll be more whey to pour off. And that's completely normal. And now I'm gonna microwave this for 1 minute. What we're trying to do is get it up to 135 degrees in order to make it stretchable. So the whey and the curds have been microwaved for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and pour off more of the whey that's accumulated and check the temperature again and see where we are. We may have to microwave for another 30 seconds, try to get up to that 135 degrees. All right, let's add some salt to this. This is just for flavoring. You don't actually have to add this to mozzarella because it is a fresh cheese. So you can go ahead and add a teaspoon of salt, or just how you like it. See how gooey and stretchy this is? What we're doing is, it's like, oh shoot, this is way too stretchy. Well, guess what? If we keep stretching, it'll get firmer, believe it or not. Trust me. Let's keep doing this, and it will keep weeping whey. So it keeps getting firmer and firmer and firmer the more you stretch it. And once we get done with stretching, we can actually add things to this. You can kind of stretch this out and add herbs to it, roll it back up, and you can have an herb cheese or prosciutto, or there's all kinds of ideas as far as what you can do with your mozzarella once you're done with it. See how shiny that is? This is your finished mozzarella. So the first thing we're going to do now that we've got a nice ball of mozzarella is put it in a bowl of cool water. Going to set in here for 5 minutes. And what we're trying to do is preserve the texture by cooling this down as quickly as you can. And you can, and some people might think, oh, I'll just put it in the refrigerator, it'll be fine that way. Air cools much slower than water. So dunking something in water like this will actually speed up the cooling process, and that's what we want. 5 minutes, and then we'll add ice to it. All right, so we've got our cheese all chilled. It's been in here for 15 minutes in ice water. At this point, we can store it in any which way you would like. I store mine in a Ziploc bag in the refrigerator until I use it. It's good for about a week. I wouldn't hold it any longer than that. This is a fresh product, especially since it's not actually completely pasteurized. And so remember that if you're going to do this with raw milk, make sure that the ending product that you use to consume it, if it's a baked dish, something melted into pasta, that sort of thing, make sure it's coming up to 160 degrees, just to make sure that we don't risk anything making you sick. So on that note, thank you for joining us with some introductory cheese making, mozzarella. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was useful for you. I hope it gave you an idea of what to look for, because sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is figure out what is this supposed to look like at all those different stages. And I hope that gave you that experience. So thank you. I am Brad Secraw with the Cleveland County Cooperative Extension Service here in Norman, and you can contact our office with any questions you may have on phone, or you can look at our website and find information there as well. You can also email us. So have a good day.